Welcome everyone to another episode of Rodian Radio. I'm your host Chase, and tonight I will be flying solo as Danny cannot be here tonight. So tonight we have a pretty big show in store for you. I got some Star Wars news to break down, and then we're going to get into our special guest for the evening. So without further ado, my name is Chase, and you are listening to Rodian Radio Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you want to check out our merchandise for sale, you can find reference pictures for those on Instagram at Rodian Radio Podcast. You can find us at Twitter at PC Rodian. TikTok is Rodian Radio, and YouTube is Rodian Radio. Don't forget, we still have the giveaway live until we hit 100 subscribers on our YouTube. We will be giving away one of our Wolfpack Rodian Radio hoodies. They are very comfortable. They're very nice. They don't shrink. They don't stretch easy. They're very warm. I wear it about every week. So you can check those out. We will be giving away one of those free. That is free. Free. Free to one of our lucky listeners if we can hit 100 subscribers on our YouTube. Please share us out. Spread the word. If you enjoy this podcast, leave us your comments on our videos. If you enjoy us and you listen to us via podcast, if your podcaster of choice allows you to leave a review, please leave us a review. We will be glad to read those on the air, anonymously, of course. But without further ado, let's get into it. Today is February 21st, 2021, and any notes that I have taken down is of today and anything up until today. But first of all, I want to kick the bat off with today is my birthday, and but we're not here to shout out my birthday, but I just want to throw in a fun fact that I share a birthday with C-3PO himself, Anthony Daniels. Yes, Anthony Daniels. I'm not sure exactly how old he is today, but he was born in February 21st, 1946. And we all know him as C-3PO in the original and sequels and prequel trilogies, and I think some in the Clone Wars, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But without further ado, let's get into the rest of the news.
I've good news for you, my lord.
Alright, Star Wars news for today. First off, we have director John Watts, who was the director who did all three MCU Spider-Man movies, has been rumored to direct a Star Wars movie in the future. There's no details or anything about that, but I'd be excited to see what he has to do. I think that would be really great for him to step his feet into the Star Wars universe. And alright, and so we got a few action figures, vintage collection, Lego, Black Series, and Funko Pop. We'll get started in the Black Series. The Target carbonized Shore Troopers and Scout Troopers have been showing up, so check your nearest Targets if you're looking for those. Also in the Black Series, the Bad Batch version of Cad Bane and Black Chrysanthemum from the Book of Boba Fett were released last week. Those are available everywhere except for the Cad Bane. It is an Amazon exclusive, and if you missed that sale, good luck trying to get one. And again, I say, Hasbro, what are you doing? Repainting Chewbacca black and throwing some shoulder pads on him does not make him Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum is much bigger than Chewbacca, therefore he needs a whole different mold. But it's Hasbro. What are we going to do about it? So, we have the Cad Bane, we have the Chrysanthemum, we have the carbonized Black Series Shore Trooper and Scout Trooper. Next is the Target exclusive vintage collection Axe Woves, Cosca Reeves, and Miggs Mayfield, all from the Mandalorian Season 2. They look pretty good. The vintage collection is always better at detailing their figures, in my opinion, than Black Series. But if you're looking for those are Target exclusives. And the Wave 32 Black Series, which is the Omega, the Echo, the Mandalorian Season 2 version of Ahsoka, the Client, and the Death Watch Mandalorian have been popping up in stores, so keep a check out on them if you can find them. Alright, so next up we have Funko Pop has released Star Wars Vision Funko Pops. If you're into Funko Pops, if you're into Star Wars, or if you're into Star Wars Visions, this might be a cool little pickup for you. You can, I'm not sure if they're exclusives or not, but they were revealed a few days ago. One last thing on the vintage collection, the Razor Crest that was announced a couple years ago. People are now starting to get those in the mail. So if you have pre-ordered a vintage collection Razor Crest, you may be getting it sooner than later. Just check your emails and all that. But they have been showing up. And last up on the news here, we have Lego has made the Book of Boba Fett Mandalorian N1 Starfighter. It's actually a pretty neat set. I'm not sure the retail price, but it comes with Grogu, the Mandalorian, Pele Molo, and I think a pit droid, or the BD-1 droid. Yeah, the BD droid. So those are the only toy reveals that I have come across, and so let's get into this. Today in Star Wars history, we have 1997, February 21st, 1997. The Empire Strikes Back Special Edition was released in theaters in the United States. So that's been about 26 years ago. And personally, I love The Empire Strikes Back, but my favorite Star Wars movie is Return of the Jedi. Maybe we can, when Danny's back with me, we can do a show just on the movies that we like, or our favorite movies and why, and all that stuff. But, so that's about all the news that I had. So, without further ado, we know why you're here. You're either here for two reasons. One, you are a fan of Rodian Radio, or you want to hear this interview with our special guest, Mr. Skyler Bible from the Book of Boba Fett. If you don't know his work, he is Fixer in episode 2 when Boba goes to Tashi Station. He is Fixer. That is Skyler Bible. He plays Fixer in the Book of Boba Fett, chapter 2. So we are going to sit down in the Rodian Radio VIP lounge and chat with him. But in the meantime, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will be in the Rodian Radio VIP lounge with Mr. Skyler Bible. Don't go anywhere. Welcome everyone to the Rodian Radio VIP Lounge. I'm here with Mr. Skyler Bible himself. How's it going, brother?
Good, man. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. It's a huge honor to have you on the show, and not a lot of people know who Fixer was, and now it's like he's all over the place. So, what was it like auditioning for the role of Fixer? Let's see, Lonozar? I think that's how you say his last name.
Yeah, Lays Lonosner. Dude, I've had Lays Lossinger, Lays Lays Laser, all that kind of stuff. But no, it was crazy, man. My agent just sent me like an NDA that just was super vague. It didn't really have anything on it except for like fine print at the very, very bottom that said Lucasfilm. And so I had an idea, but I didn't know what show it was for, what network it was going to be for, what, because they're making a bunch of different, bunch of shows, and it was just a quick self tape and some sides that they had made up. It wasn't even the actual sides that we used, in the, and
it's Lucasfilm and their secrecy.
Exactly, super secret all the time. I think I didn't even figure out what show I was even on when I was on set. I think the makeup artist. Yeah, we didn't even know. The makeup artist and the hairstylist. We were like sitting together, and they're like, "Do you even know what show we're on?" we thought it was Mandalorian. We thought it was potentially the Kenobi series, but it wasn't until like a few weeks later after we shot that we figured it out. But
hey, you never know. Maybe we'll see Fixer back in Kenobi. Maybe it'll be a flashback or something, because we are getting a young Luke. And for people who don't know who Fixer was actually one of Luke Skywalker's best friends when he was still on Tatooine. And Fixer always felt underperformed by Luke, and he always made him feel bad about himself by calling him nicknames. Like, I think one of his nicknames was like Wormy.
As a bit of, kind of like a little bit of an asshole.
Yeah. He's really mean. And Fixer was actually the boyfriend for Cammy, who was also in the scene that you were in. So, and to me, Fixer is a big deal because he was, announced in the deleted scene for A New Hope back in 1977, never really made it into canon up until 2021. So, yeah, you have a big weight on your shoulder, man, for bringing your character into canon.
I know. I actually didn't realize that was going to be the first time that it was going to be on screen and kind of brought the whole legends and all of like his backstory into canon. But yeah, it's a huge honor. I didn't even, I had no idea it was going to be that big at all.
Yeah, anybody who's tied with Luke Skywalker is a big deal. So, and we here at Rodian Radio, we love Luke Skywalker, and any friend of Luke is a friend of ours. So,
right on.
Right on. So, when you got the call that you got the part, what was your emotion that you are going to be in Star Wars?
I was coming back from like a hike, I think, with a buddy, and I got the call, and you know that like R2-D2 like squeal sound that he does. I kind of made that noise.
That's great. That's great. So, are you a pretty big Star Wars fan yourself outside of your profession? You are?
Yeah. Oh, very much so.
Nice. So, I can just imagine, your buddy, like, what, something wrong. And you're like, no, dude, I'm going to be in Star Wars.
Yeah, it was pretty surreal, man. I mean, because I got the call, I think I got a message on my answering machine that said for my agent to call her back. And I kind of had a feeling, but I didn't put it together all the way. And then she, yeah, it was just crazy. It's crazy. It's just it's an entire universe that I've dreamed to be a part of,
Right.
And when it actually happens, it's kind of
it's like a...
It's still like,
Yeah, it's like not real, but it's real at the same time. And me and my co-host, who actually wasn't able to make it tonight, Danny, we were talking the other day about Pedro Pascal and how certain situations came up with him wanting to take his helmet off, and we were like, dude, I'd wear that suit for free. Like, just put me in the suit, man. But no, Boba Fett is one of my top 3 favorite characters. So just to see a callback to A New Hope in a Boba Fett show was just icing on the cake to me. And it was just great. And I don't think they could have got anybody better to play Fixer, because you look the part, you sound the part. You just did a great job.
Thanks, dude.
You did a great job. So what was it like shooting that scene with those Niktos?
Dude, it was amazing. We had so much time to shoot it. I think we did 2 or 3 days to just shoot that scene. And the original director, Steph Green, was supposed to be there, but I think she was quarantining for another show or something. So she was on like just an iPhone, just via FaceTime. And so Jon Favreau was like my director for like the whole time.
Man, you got the guy.
Yeah. And there's something about like when he walks on set, there's 150 people on set. But he walks on set and it's completely silent. Everybody's listening to him just kind of walk through the scene, and it's just amazing. It was amazing. There was like a bunch of different renditions of like what the lines were going to be, and he kind of just said, improv a little bit, kind of go back and forth. Don't worry about the lines. if we just want to see like the specific moments, and that's what we want to capture. And if there's spaces, we'll edit around it, but we just want to see like you being in the scene, and also like the stunt guys that were all amazing, to them being in the scene first and foremost. And it was great. They just are so in love with the universe and the story and everything, and it comes across.
Yeah.
Makes it.
Jon Favreau, I don't think anybody else could be in a better position to do Star Wars television series like he is. I think he understands how to do Star Wars. Not very many people can pull that off. And trust me, I've been a Star Wars fan for over 20 years. And, I may seem young, but, I've lived, breathe, and eat, sleep Star Wars day after day. So I study this stuff for a living, just about. And Jon Favreau knows what he's doing. Dave Filoni knows what he's doing. And it was just, I don't know, it's just amazing. Just to see it all unfold. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm sitting here watching this. But what was it like? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, they're huge fans. So, like, they want to do the fan service. They want to, like, give the audience what they, what would be fun for them is fun for the audience. You know?
That's like in Mandalorian Season 2, I think it was episode 6, when Boba Fett came back. It was directed by Robert Rodriguez. The behind-the-scenes shoot, he was doing that scene with his action figures and with his kids. And I'm like, that's what I would do if I was in that spot. It would just be a dream come true for me.
Yeah, totally.
What was it? So I assume you got to know Tamara Morrison pretty well. Listening to, we love Tamara Morrison. He's hilarious. But in any interview that I see him in, he's always kind of clueless that he's in Star Wars. Is he like that on the set?
He was not like that at all on the set. He loves being Boba Fett. He loves it. He's the best human ever, too. I mean, he's so full of energy, and he was doing all of his own stunts, kind of walking through with his stunt double, and does all the moves, does everything except for, like, the crazy stuff. But I mean, he loves it. He loves it. Strikes up conversation with everybody, and
he seems to me like what you see on TV is what you get in real life.
100%. Yeah.
He seems like a very genuine person, and but like any interview that I've seen him in, he's just kind of just there, doesn't really know, and he's like so close to dropping spoilers, but then someone has to cut him off real quick. He's just hilarious. We love to watch him here. But so let's see here. That's about all the questions of the scene that I had. But so what was your first experience ever watching a Star Wars movie like, if you remember?
Oh, man. My mom showed me A New Hope and kind of like those, and we watched them all 3 in a row. And that was like my first introduction to Star Wars and like the whole universe and everything. And I fell in love. And Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite movies. And that's, kind of just, I think I was 8 or 9. It was a while ago.
Yeah. So my personal favorite is Return of the Jedi, and it's just something about the filming of it, the directing of it, the acting of it. It just all blends together very well. And we got Boba Fett. I mean, that's like the best thing out of Return of the Jedi besides Luke Skywalker. But it's nice to see that, Cammy and Fixer have now made a canon appearance. Now all we need is Biggs. So we need.
I was expecting to see him.
It would have been nice. We may see. I really expect to see all 3 of them come back in Kenobi, but be teenagers. Because we never really got to see their backstory. We never got to see any of that. We just went right to Luke. End with Luke, and that was it. But I wouldn't be surprised if we got to see like a little side cameo of Biggs, and it'd be great.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
Back, so
who knows? Maybe we'll maybe in the near future we get the book of Fixer Lenozar.
Love that. Yeah.
I'd watch every episode, man. It'd be great. All right, so kind of wrapping this up here. Whenever we have a guest on the show, we ask them about 4 questions just to kind of pick your brain about Star Wars. So question number 1 is, who is your all-time favorite Star Wars character?
I'd have to say Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with a Wookiee, and you never let a Wookiee lose, as we see with Chrysanthemum. So
Exactly.
all right, so who is your least favorite Star Wars character?
Ooh.
Just somebody you absolutely just, every time they come on screen, you just want to throw your TV in the yard.
I gotta go with Jar Jar.
No. You're on the Jar Jar wagon.
See, but there is that theory, though, like the Darth
Jar Jar.
Yeah. If that theory is correct, or they do something with it, I will be totally on board. But as of right now, he's just this, like, stammering idiot guy.
Yeah.
Can't deal with him.
I would love to see a Darth Jar Jar.
Just
somehow.
Genius.
It would be genius. Is there? I think there may be a robot chicken of Darth Jar Jar. I'm not real sure.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's robot chicken. There's something else out there that is that.
Yeah, like in the last episode 6, when the Sanctuary, the Pikes blew it up, and everybody's like, Max Rebo didn't die. Max Rebo didn't die. I have said from that episode, Max Rebo is behind everything. He always knows when to get out before trouble hits. And Robot Chicken does a very good example of showing us that Max Rebo knows where to go. You know, gotta get to the gig, man. If you haven't seen that, that's hilarious.
No, I'll check it out, man.
Yeah, it's like the sail barge is all broke, and like Max Rebo's the only guy that lives besides Boba. And like he's like, oh, everybody's dead, but I gotta get to my gig, man. He's like, he just walks the whole desert to get to his next gig. So I'm convinced that Max Rebo's behind everything.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, you never know with Star Wars. Anybody, nobody really ever dies.
Right. I'll come back at some point.
Yeah. All right. So third question here is, out of everything Star Wars that you've seen, cinema-wise, whether it's the Clone Wars, Rebels, the movies, whatever, what is your favorite scene?
Ooh. I have 2.
All right. We'll take them both.
First one is that scene when Han and Luke are breaking Leia out of the cell, and they're at, like, the console, and he has that, like, conversation with, like...
yeah, how are you today?
Yeah, how are you? Boring conversation anyway. You choose to think. It's one of my favorite scenes. And then it's kind of, it's the Phantom Menace, but that scene where it's the Obi-Wan Darth Maul lightsaber fight scene.
That's a very great scene.
One of the best fights.
It is one of the best fights. And I'm not sure how long it took them to film that fight scene, but I do know the Revenge of the Sith fight scene took like weeks or so to shoot. Maybe days, but I know it was a long period of time. But yeah, that's a good scene in A New Hope. He's like, how are you today? I'm good. That's just great. All right, so last question here, and this one's going to make you think.
All right.
So if you could create your own Star Wars character, species, no matter what it is, and you could have them show up on screen, who would you make and why?
Ooh. Okay, so I think like an astro droid, but it'd be like a cyborg astro droid type deal that'd be able to like use the Force in some capacity.
Oh man, you just
That'd be so cool. Dude.
You just went way, way out left.
Oh yeah.
A cyborg astromech that can use the Force. That I don't see how that would work.
I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. It is Star Wars.
like a droid that was like that could, I don't know, like a droid human cyborg-esque thing that could use the Force somehow. I think that'd be super cool to see.
So it would be like General Grievous with the Force, but with R2's head.
Yeah, but like it'd be like a little tiny one.
That's hilarious. Small. That's actually there's going to be an action figure of it. Mark my words. You heard it here on Rodian Radio. Hasbro's going to copy it, and they're going to say the Fixer 2.0 special.
Hell yeah.
So there you go. All right, brother. Well, I've had a blast talking to you. It's been a lot of fun, and I don't want to keep you here. We are at the about the 18-minute mark. So, man, time flies when you're having fun.
I know, right?
So, one quick question here before we head out. Could we get you to do a quick intro for our show for future references?
Yeah, 100. All
right, we're ready when you are.
And do you want to give me the read real quick?
Yeah, it's I'm so and so from so and so. You're listening to Rodian Radio from our galaxy to yours.
Perfect. Hey, I'm Skyler Bible, Boba Fett, and you listen to Rodian Radio from our galaxy to yours.
You kind of cut out there for a minute, so you get a redo.
Oh, cool. And I just want to make sure that I'm saying it right, though. It's Rodian, right?
Rodian.
Perfect.
Yeah, like Greedo, the Rodians.
Gotcha, Rodian. Perfect. Hey, this is Skyler Bible from the book of Boba Fett, and you listen to Rodian Radio.